Hey everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to make a necklace today, and I'm going to use some of the beads that came in the most recent bargain bead box, the one for January 2024, called A Galaxy of Gems. And I'm also going to be using this beautiful polymer clay pendant that my sweet subscriber friend Rose sent to me. She sent me a whole big box full of polymer clay beads, and there were pendants in there, and there was a neat little box that I have sitting here on my desk all the time, and a neat little bowl that I have sitting here on my desk all the time. It was just amazing, all the beautiful polymer clay beads and that was in that box she sent to me. And I thought this pendant went well with these beads, so that's what I'm going to use for my pendant today. I'll put a link in the corner of this video and in the description box below for the unboxing video I did for this subscription, in case you want to watch it, where I go over everything that came in the box. I have a coupon code. It's Teresa2, and I'll put it on the screen here and in the description box below, along with a link to the page to sign up for the subscription if you're interested. The coupon will save you $2 off your first box if you sign up. In here I have the 8mm tiger skin jasper beads. In here I have the 8mm carnelian beads. In here I have the 10mm striped agate beads. And my pendant, and I've got a little pinch bell I'm going to put on my pendant. I've got some findings in here. I've got a lobster clasp, some 4mm jump rings, an 8mm jump ring, a couple of pieces of the chain that came in the box, a little piece of extender chain from my stash that I'm going to use, two 2x2 crimp tubes, and 2 wire guardians. And I only had one of the little jasper beads left, so I'm going to hang that off the back of the necklace as a dangle. And I've got a little ball head pin there to do that with. And I've got some bead caps from my stash and some Miyuki 11-0 Durcoat galvanized gold seed beads, because y'all know I have to have seed beads between all the beads of bead caps around all the beads. I just can't help myself. I'm going to be using my soft flex beading wire in fine. This is metallics, and it's 21 strand, and it's the copper color. Of course, you can use whatever bead string wire you have. I don't have any in gold, but I seem to have just a whole lot of copper, so I need to use it up, so that's what I'm going to use. And it doesn't really matter about the color of the bead string wire. Once you get all the beads on there, you won't be able to see it anyway. I'm going to be using I've got my bead stoppers. I'm going to be using my chain nose pliers, my tweezer pliers, my round nose pliers, both pairs of my bent chain nose pliers, both pairs of my crimping pliers, and both pairs of my cutters. A lot of those I'll only be using when I make the dangle to hang off the back of the necklace. And I've got my little New Orleans shot glass to put my wire in when I cut it off. I think that's everything. I'll put links to everything I can find links for in the description box below. Everything that didn't come in the box. So hold on, I'll get some of my beads out of the way and I'll be back. Okay, first I'm going to put my pinch bell on my pendant. And I know I probably don't need to show y'all how to do this. You know how to do it, but I'm going to, just in case there might be some beginners out there who don't know how to do it, I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm just going to open it here. You can open it with your hands probably. I'm going to use some pliers here because I don't have a whole lot of strength in my hands. And this pendant here is so thin, you don't really have to open it very much. Of course, if you have a thicker pendant, you would have to open it more. Just going to open it there and put my little pendant in there and line my little prongs there with the hole in the pendant, and I'm going to squeeze it together. Make sure it's good together, really good. So that's going to be my pendant. So now hold on, and I'll get I'm going to go ahead and string this up because I don't want y'all to have to wait while I string all these tiny little beads and bead caps and all. And when I get back, I'll show you what my pattern is. So I'll be back. Okay, I've got my necklace all strung up here now, and I'm going to show you what my pattern is. Of course, I have 11-0 seed beads between all the beads and bead caps around all the beads. And I've started with 1 jasper bead, and then I have 1 carnelian bead, and then I have 5 jasper beads, 1 carnelian bead, 1 jasper bead, 3 of the striped agate beads, a jasper bead, And in under my pendant here, I've got two 11/0 seed beads so that the veil won't be hanging directly on the bead stringing wire. So I've got two 11/0 seed beads under there. And then on the other side, I've just got the same thing. I've got a jasper bead, 3 10mm beads, a jasper bead, a carnelian bead, 5 jasper beads, a carnelian bead, and 1 jasper bead. So that's what my pattern is. So now I'm going to crimp it here. I need to zoom back out a little bit here. Just wanted to zoom in so y'all could see my pattern. Now I'm going to put my crimp bead on here and my wire guardian. And I'm going to come down the other channel of my wire guardian. I'm going to go back through my crimp tube. I need to give myself a little more room here. I've still got my wire attached to the spool. I usually just leave it attached to the spool when I know what my design is going to be. Kind of try to save a little bit on the wire. So now I'm going to go down the other channel of my wire guardian. Go back through my crimp tube. Pull my wire through. And well, I didn't get back through my crimp tube. Okay. Back through my crimp tube. Pull my wire through. Make sure my wires are not crossed in there, because we want each wire to fall in its own little individual channel, and it won't do that if the beads are crossed, or if the wires are crossed. I'm going to tuck in my wire guardian a little bit there. Now I'm going to try to hold my wires apart. Make sure there's no wire sticking out up here. I'm going to take my crimping pliers and go in that part with the tooth. I'm going to lay the tooth on top. Squeeze. And that puts each wire in its own little channel there. Now I'm going to go into the part of the, up here there's 3 half circles on each side. I'm going to go into the middle one because that's the one for the 2x2 crimp tubes. I'm going to lay my crimp in there and squeeze. Now I'm going to tug. That's good. So now I'm going to take my cutters and cut off my extra wire. Now I'm going to push all this down. Cut my wire off my spool. And I'm going to crimp this side. So I'm going to take my crimp tube and put it on here. My wire guardian. Go down the other channel of my wire guardian. Back through my crimp tube. Pull my wire through. Make sure my wires are not crossed. On this side, I like to go through a bead, if I can, to get my hands out of the way when I'm trying to crimp, and it helps center that wire guardian over the last bead. I need to get back through this, the correct hole of this little filigree bead cap. There's a lot of holes in them. Back through my bead, and then through this bead cap. got to get back through the right hole of that bead cap. Which I am having a problem doing. There's so many holes in these little filigree bead caps. There, I'm through there now. Okay, now I'm going to hold on to my wire guardian and pull my wire through. Now I want to make sure there's no slack in my piece, but I don't want it to be too tight. I want to make sure all my little bead caps are in position and behaving and not out of whack or anything. I think they look all okay. So, and like I said, I'm going to tuck my little wire guardian in here a little bit. So you don't want to have any slack in your piece, but you don't want it to be too tight either, or it won't drape well. And I always leave it coiled up like this when I crimp this side to try to keep it from being too tight. So now I'm going to go on the part with the tooth again. Lay the tooth on top of my crimp tube. Squeeze. Now I'm going to turn it around and go on that part with the half circles again. Lay my crimp in there. Squeeze. Make sure to give it a good tight squeeze. Keeps wanting to slip around on me there. Now I'm going to tug. That's good. It's not coming off, so now I'm going to take my cutters and cut my extra wire. Left a little more room in there than I meant to, but it's better for it to be a little loose than to be tight, and it's fine once you. I always think I left too much room, and then when I look, it's okay, because when I'm pulling on the beads up here and trying to crimp, it looks like there's a whole lot of wire showing, but then when you spread all your beads out, there's really not any wire showing. So hold on, I'll get my findings and I'll put them on there and I'll be back. Okay, I've got my findings I'm going to put on here now. I've got a couple of pieces of the chain that came in the box. These are about 4 inches each. And I'm going to take my tweezer pliers, because I can handle these tiny little 4mm jump rings better with my tweezer pliers. I'm going to open up my jump ring, put my chain on, put this side of my necklace on, close my jump ring back. Sure to get it closed back really well. I'm going to take my another 4mm jump ring, open it up, put this side of my chain on, put the other side of my necklace on, close my jump ring back up really well. Now I'm going to take another 4mm jump ring, open it up, this side of my chain on, And my lobster clasp. These tiny little 4mm jump rings are always jumping out of my hands. Okay. See if the third time is the charm here. Okay, now I think I got it this time. Close my jump rings back really well. There we go. Now on this side I have an 8mm jump ring. And these 8mm jump rings I have are pretty thick, so I can handle them better with my heavier pliers. I'm going to put it on this end of my chain here. Then I'm going to put my extender chain. This is about a 2-inch piece of extender chain. Some paper clip chain I had in my stash. And I'm going to close this jump ring back really well. It's easier to get your jump rings to meet if you go past it a little bit and then bring it back. And now I'm just going to make this dangle to go on my extender chain. So I'm going to take my jasper bead and put it on here. Take my pliers and I'm going to go to the very tip of the pliers. Bend over at a 90-degree angle. Round those pliers and put them in the crook of the bend. Round those pliers facing me. Bend the wire back until it hits the bead. Rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. Take this part under here until it hits the bottom of the pliers. Cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the bead, which usually stands my little piece of wire almost straight up. I'll take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Bring my wire down a little bit. I'm going to take my other pair of bent chain nose pliers and start to wrap. Oh, nope, I forgot. I know y'all are out there, y'all that have been watching me for a while are out there hollering at me, telling me I'm forgetting to wrap it directly to my extender chain because I forget all the time. I'm going to open my loop and put my extender chain on here. Close my loop back. And now I'm going to hold onto my loop with my bent chain nose pliers. I just don't know why I can't remember that. I forget that all the time. Now I'm going to start wrapping. I want to make sure to get that first wrap in under the bottom of the loop and not over the top of the bottom of the loop. Just wrap till there's no more room to wrap. Now I'm going to take my cutters, and I use a different pair of cutters for bead stringing wire, and I have a little piece of masking tape on it there so I know which is which. And which it's getting kind of dirty. I need to replace that masking tape. But I use a different pair of cutters for my head pins and eye pins and craft wire than my bead stringing wire. Now I'm going to take these crimping pliers, and I use the little half circles at each end to tuck in my wire. So there we go, I'm all done. So hold on, let me see if I can get everything out of the way and get this laid out, and I'll be back. Okay, there's my necklace made with some of the beads from the most recent Bargain Bead Box, the January 2024 Galaxy of Gems collection. And this beautiful polymer clay pendant sent to me by my sweet subscriber friend Rose. This will be the third necklace that I've made from the box, and I made a bracelet and a pair of earrings to go with one of the necklaces. And I still have a ton of beads left, so This is a really, really great value box. If you enjoy beading and jewelry making, this is a box that I would very much recommend. And if you're not already subscribed to the box and you decide you want to be, that coupon code will save you $2 off your first box if you sign up. I hope y'all have enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed to my channel and watched my videos and liked and commented on my videos. I have a website where I sell my jewelry. I also sell gift cards and some extra beads and findings that I have. It's Teresa's Handmade Jewelry, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case you're interested, along with a link to my Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and my email. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. So until next time, I hope y'all have a great day. Take care.